Have you ever heard of FIV, also known as feline AIDS? That name might sound scary, but understanding what this disease is and how it affects cats is essential to ensure the health and well-being of your four-legged companion. FIV is more common than most people think, and many cat owners only find out their pet is infected when symptoms are already advanced. That's why being well-informed can make all the difference. In this video, we're going to talk about the signs that may indicate your cat has FIV, how it's transmitted, how the diagnosis is made, what kind of care is needed, and most importantly, how to prevent it. If you have a cat or know someone who does, this content is a must-watch. Stay with us until the end and learn everything you need to know to protect your cat and give them a long, healthy life, even if they're living with FIV. And if you enjoy learning more about your pet's behavior and want to give them a happier, healthier life, make sure to subscribe to our channel. We post daily videos created with care and responsibility just for you. What is FIV? FIV, or feline immunodeficiency virus, is a viral disease that affects only cats. It's commonly referred to as feline AIDS because, like HIV in humans, it attacks the animal's immune system, making them more vulnerable to other infections. But let's be clear from the start. FIV is not transmissible to humans or to animals other than cats. The virus works silently. Many infected cats can live for years without showing any obvious symptoms, which makes the disease even more deceptive. When signs do start to appear, they usually indicate that the immune system is already compromised. The main way FIV is transmitted is through deep bites, usually during fights between cats. That's why unneutered male cats, who roam outdoors, are among the most at risk. The disease can also be passed from mother to kittens during pregnancy or nursing, although that's less common. In rare cases, transmission can occur through blood transfusions. FIV doesn't spread through casual contact. Cats that live together peacefully, without fighting, are unlikely to transmit the virus to one another. Sharing food bowls, litter boxes, or sleeping together doesn't pose a significant risk, as long as there's no aggression. Understanding what FIV is the first step in protecting your cat and making sure they live a long and healthy life, even if they're carrying the virus. And that's exactly why it's so important to recognize the warning signs, which we'll look at next. Warning signs. What to look for. FIV can stay hidden for a long time, but once the virus starts to weaken the cat's immune system, certain signs begin to show, and it's crucial for the owner to be alert to these changes. One of the first signs might be a drop in the cat's energy levels. They may start sleeping more, playing less, and showing less interest in their surroundings. Loss of appetite is also common, and with it comes weight loss, which can be gradual or sudden. Another important sign is persistent fever, which often goes unnoticed since the cat may still behave normally. As the disease progresses, the cat may develop recurring infections, such as respiratory issues, diarrhea, or wounds that take a long time to heal. Gingivitis and stomatitis, inflammations in the mouth and gums, are quite frequent in cats with FIV and can cause pain while eating, leading the cat to avoid food or even water. Eye changes, like discharge or inflammation, may also appear, along with neurological problems that show up as disorientation, difficulty walking, or sudden shifts in behavior. It's important to remember that these symptoms aren't exclusive to FIV. They could be linked to other illnesses, but when they appear together or repeatedly, it's a clear sign that something's wrong. At that point, the best course of action is to seek veterinary advice and get the proper test done. Paying close attention to your cat and being sensitive to their behavior can make a huge difference in their quality of life. And the earlier FIV is identified, the better the chances of providing effective treatment and ensuring many healthy years together. Diagnosing FIV. Finding out your cat might have FIV is a tough moment, but it's important to understand that a diagnosis is not a death sentence. With the right tests and proper care, many cats with FIV live for years with a good quality of life. Diagnosis usually starts with clinical suspicion, often when the cat shows recurring symptoms like infections, fever, weight loss, or changes in the mouth and eyes. In these cases, the vet may recommend specific tests to confirm the presence of the virus. If the result comes back positive, the first thing to do is stay calm. Many infected cats never develop the severe form of the disease and can live long, happy lives. What matters most is starting regular veterinary checkups, with routine exams and close attention to the cat's overall health. Early diagnosis is a chance to act with care and responsibility, making sure your cat enjoys a full life, even while living with FIV. How to care for a cat with FIV. Caring for a cat with FIV requires attention, love, and a few adjustments to daily life. But it doesn't mean they'll have a limited life. The first step is to make sure your cat lives in a safe and calm environment. That means keeping them indoors, away from the risks of fights or exposure to other diseases. A cat with FIV has a weaker immune system, so any infection can become more serious than it would be in a healthy cat. Nutrition is also a key factor. Providing high-quality food rich in nutrients helps strengthen the body and makes the cat more resilient. In some cases, the vet may recommend vitamin supplements or medications to help the cat's body respond better to external threats. Another essential part of care is regular veterinary monitoring. Routine checkups, blood tests, and close attention to any changes in behavior or health are crucial. The earlier a complication is detected, the better the chances of treating it successfully. It's also important to keep the environment clean and stress-free. Cats with FIV benefit from a stable routine, cozy places to rest, toys to stay entertained, and of course, lots of affection. The bond with their human is a powerful source of emotional well-being, and that directly impacts their physical health. Although casual transmission is rare, if there are other cats in the household, it's best to avoid sharing food and water bowls or litter boxes, especially if there's any risk of fighting. How to prevent FIV. There are simple steps you can take to protect your cat and prevent FIV. The first is neutering. Unneutered cats, especially males, are more likely to get into fights, particularly if they go outside. These fights are the main way FIV is transmitted, since the virus spreads through deep bites. Neutering significantly reduces aggressive and territorial behavior. Another essential measure is keeping your cat indoors or in controlled environments. Cats that live exclusively indoors have a much lower chance of coming into contact with infected animals. If you want to give your cat access to the outdoors, consider using protective screens or taking them out on a leash, always under supervision. If you have more than one cat at home, it's important to test all of them. Knowing whether any of them are FIV positive allows you to make informed decisions about how they live together, share resources, and receive care. Also, avoid introducing unfamiliar cats into your home without first doing the necessary tests. A new pet could pose a risk to the others, especially if they've lived on the streets or in shelters. FIV is a serious condition, but it doesn't have to mean suffering. With knowledge, care, and responsibility, you can give your cat a long, safe, and loving life. If you've made it this far, you've already taken the first step, getting informed. Now, share what you've learned. Many people still don't know what FIV is or how it affects cats, and you can help change that by sharing this video. It could be essential for protecting another furry friend's health. If you have questions, suggestions, or want to share your experience with FIV, leave a comment below. And if this content was helpful to you, give it a like and subscribe to the channel to keep receiving videos about pet health, behavior, and well-being. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.